Hello, and we're up and running again for the next chapter of Hercule Poirot's The ABC Mysteries. We are roughly 2/3 of the way through the game. I'm not sure if I'll get to finish it this session, probably not. I expect that we're going to move towards Doncaster. We're just coming to the end of the Churston chapter.
Mr. Poirot, I don't know why I'm here.
You wanted to talk, and you came to find the only man capable of hearing you.
Mr. Poirot, since Betty's death, I've doubts about myself. I don't know what to do. And I keep having a horrible dream 3 nights in a row.
So it does recap things.
Have a drink and tell me about this dream.
So last night we watched the 2018 BBC miniseries, and it changed a significant number of aspects of the original story, including his relationship with Megan. Donald in the TV series was a bit of a nice guy.
Have you seen Megan Barnard recently?
Yes, our grief has brought us together. I never really knew her before. She's really quite a remarkable girl.
In the TV series, they had him dating Megan before he met Betty.
Why not? Is it her you are attacking in your dream?
No, it's Betty. And once Betty is dead, it's Megan's face that appears in its place.
Very interesting. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
So we have actually completed this little thing already, but
Mr. Fraser,
it seems to rewind to save points on starting again.
Love with Megan Barnard.
Please go on. Do.
This dream certainly betrays your guilt.
Oh.
But what do you feel guilty about? Having killed your fiancé? Possible. Or forgetting her very quickly for her sister? Certainly. And this forgetting is perceived as a second death.
So you don't really think I was the one who killed Betty?
I do not exclude this theory. I am simply saying that I do not need to know that fact to explain your dream and your guilt.
Thank you for being frank, Mr. Poirot. You've helped me a great deal. I'm going back to Bexhill. I'll not take any more of your time up.
It is late, Mr. Fraser, and you are tired.
I'll sleep on the train. I like trains. It's easy to sleep rocked by the sound of the wheels.
Poor boy, he seems completely lost.
Well, women seem to like him. I think Megan will take care of him. Oh, I remember. Did you order the product I needed?
All right, so the product was some chemicals to...
Yeah, it is late, and I asked Miss Gray to come tomorrow morning. I have a few questions I wish to ask her.
So the chemicals that are coming are to examine some burnt fragments of paper that we retrieved in the previous session.
Mademoiselle, I asked you here in order to answer a very important question. You lied to us, and I demand to know why.
But what are you talking about?
Yet, Lady Clark maintained that she saw you talking to a stranger on the front doorstep.
Really? She must have been mistaken. Oh, I remember now. I'd forgotten all about it, but it wasn't important. It was just a salesman. One of those traders who sell stockings from door to door.
Can you describe him to me?
Medium size, glasses, dark suit, and a fat hat. Not the sort of man you notice. Completely harmless. That's why I forgot all about him.
Nothing else?
He was very hesitant and shy. Usually door-to-door salesmen are very confident, but he wasn't.
So the personality of the salesman in the TV series was quite different.
I believe.
I don't wish to lie. Lady Clark did not appreciate my presence. And Franklin could not go against the wishes of a sick lady. He is a good man, and he worries a great deal about his sister-in-law.
I noticed that you left some personal belongings behind at Churston. It was too risky for you to keep these objects, am I correct?
Risky? What was the risk?
You know very well what Lady Clark might have said if you had kept these objects.
Indeed. These objects were gifts. But Lady Clark would have been convinced that I'd stolen them. By returning them, I put an end to such evil gossip.
Bien. I must ask you one last question. Please reply frankly with either yes or no. If Lady Clark had died, would you have agreed to marry Sir Carmichael if he'd asked you?
How dare you ask such a question? Sir Carmichael treated me just like his daughter. And all that I ever felt him was affection and gratitude, nothing else.
Thank you, mademoiselle. I will not keep you any longer.
I met Thora Grey on the stairs. Her cheeks were ablaze, and she appeared to be deeply hurt. Poirot, have you offended the poor girl again? Do you have good reasons for accusing her?
I accused her of nothing, Hastings. I simply asked her an important question she did not answer. Let us see if we can answer it for her. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. You must know how to read between the lines, Hastings. When Sir Carmichael refers to paternal affection, he is lying to himself. Read this engraving on the brooch. A dark dragon for an angel with glossy hair. These are the words of a lover, not a father. Lady Clark was not wrong.
What if Sir Carmichael had fallen in love with his secretary? That doesn't mean that she forced him to do so.
True, there are extenuating circumstances. She is a penniless orphan. But she's calculating. Just look how she avoided it when asked if she would have married Clark.
I see. You think she seduced Sir Carmichael for her own gain, and that now she is doing the same with his brother. Poirot, your world is a very dark place.
Do not get carried away, mon ami. We have another more important matter to settle.
Really?
Yes, would you believe that Miss Grey taught me something new? Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. It's perfectly clear, Hastings, perfectly clear. Indeed, a stocking seller visited Andover, Bexhill, and Churston on the day of each murder. We have our suspect. This should be of interest to Job.
What have we got?
Royal Mathematical and Statistical Society's Bulletin, September the 9th, 1935. The Alphabet Murder, a methodical madman. It's highly probable that the Alphabet Murderer will kill again. Could we possibly estimate the number of victims in his next crime? Yes, and it is easy. As soon as we know the ratio of towns, cities and villages whose names begin with a D and the ratio of English people whose names are spelled the same. On the one hand, the ratio of towns, cities and villages in England with a name starting with D, and on the other hand, the ratio of English people with a name also starting with D. After this initial calculation, it is easy to deduce the likelihood of actually being murdered if you belong to the target population. Go to the last page to find our results and details on the calculations.
I know that's a joke, but I could honestly see someone doing something like that for the... it's a bit clickbaity, and there are people who are...
August 31, 1935. Moustache at half-mast. Poirot's repeated failure in ABC case. Sometimes small things trouble great men. Hastings, faithful collaborator of the Belgian detective, knows something about it. 3 mornings in a row, he confided to us, the cook broke the egg yolks when preparing Poirot's breakfast. This apparently casual event has greatly disturbed my friend, to the point it breaks his concentration and slows his judgment. I also noticed his moustache, of which he is so proud, being duller than usual.
Poirot, I assure you I haven't said any such thing to the journalists. They twist everything.
Hastings' photo album. He is very proud of his bag.
I've looked at this before.
Churston,
I've looked
Devon,
at this before.
population 500 inhabitants. Hourly of trains.
No, this time we were supposed to. How odd. Yeah. What's the date today?
I lock my revolver in this drawer. I've not used it in a very long...
Okay, what have we got? I'm keeping expecting the phone to ring or something. Nope. That's my next objective. Telephone, yep. Okay, let's call.
Chief Inspector, we are looking for a stocking salesman.
I see you have a suspect.
Yes. Contact all the stocking wholesalers who may employ him.
Your suspect is a salesman?
No, he does not take orders. He sells door to door.
Right. The hunt is on.
Hello, little girl. Will you come to say hi? I have a squeaky cat. It might need
Are
some
you
oil.
leaving, Mr. Cust?
Yes, I'm going to Cheltenham.
You shouldn't travel today. You don't look very well.
I have to. I have engagements. I must respect them.
So Cheltenham is a red herring because he's actually going to Doncaster, but both Cheltenham and Doncaster are locations in England that
Can you
aren't
get the
well known
post,
for their
Hastings?
racing.
And why don't you go and get it yourself?
Très bien.
Very good.
What's going on? I've never known Hastings to be so disagreeable.
Hastings is very grumpy. He'd normally fall over himself to help out. Little girl wants to sharpen her claws. All right, what have we got? Another letter. This is obviously from ABC again
Poor
because
Mr. Poirot.
the
I'm
typeface
quite
matches.
sorry for you. If at first you don't succeed, try again. We've a long way to go still. Typery? No, that comes later. Letter T. The next little incident will take place in Doncaster on September 11th. So long. ABC. I should compare this letter with the one on my desk which I received earlier to see if it does indeed come from the same person. It is not the right time.
September 11th. Hastings is upset. Why is
Mon
Hastings
ami,
upset?
it is a pleasure to be working with you again. I have missed you these past few years.
Poirot, since my return, I see that you have fewer grey hairs than when I last saw you. How is that possible?
Mon ami, I am sure that you will find the explanation all on your own. Hastings, for your hair,
Yes?
there exists an accessory, how shall I say, that can be fastened to the scalp and covered with your own hair. Let me be quite clear, it is not a wig.
Come on, Poirot, I'm not losing my hair. It's just thin slightly. Please don't stare at me, Poirot. It gives me a sore head.
Let us examine this more closely. Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. Yes, this I is weird. However, the characters in the two words do not match. Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Looks like it's quite fussy
Yes,
about
the A appears to be
the
quite
order
unusual.
that you do them.
That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
W?
The W is not printed properly. Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects.
There are other characters that have the
My
same
theory
defects,
was right.
including
These two
the
letters were written
apostrophes.
with the same typewriter. Hastings, he strikes tomorrow. Chief Inspector Japp?
He's on another line. Can I take a message?
Yes, please, mademoiselle. It is from Hercule Poirot. Tell him ABC strikes tomorrow in Doncaster. He must call me back.
Very well, sir.
Bien, now I'm going to see what I can find from these burnt documents. I've received the product I need. Hastings, if you do not mind, I would like you to take a few notes.
Yes, yes.
What's your problem, Hastings? You're not usually this truculent.
Now, down to work. All of this needs putting in order a little.
It's a jigsaw puzzle. All right, so we've got a corner.
It's so simple. This page is finished. That's done. 3 more to go. This page will be reconstructed in a flash. This page is finished. And that's 2 done. It's easier than I thought. This page will be reconstructed in a flash. This page is finished. Only 1 more. This page is finished.
Very unsatisfying as a jigsaw
All
puzzle.
the pages are reconstructed.
No, it's used the chemicals to get the messages from them.
The cloth is now soaked with solvent.
Very
Got it.
unsatisfying.
Make a note, Hastings, make a note. Mrs. Alisasha, Sharpona in Andover. Tracheitis, hemoptysis, prescribed laudanum.
I got it. Look. Poirot, where on earth did you find these files?
On a fire at the bottom of the garden at campsite.
All right, but where did the person who burned them find them?
Alice Asher, shopkeeper in Andover. Tracheitis, hemoptysis, chronic cough with loss of blood. Prescribed laudanum-based cough medicine.
Second
Betty
letter.
Barnard, waitress in Bexhill. Chronic bronchitis causing dysphonia. Advised to stop smoking. Alexander Bonaparte Cust. While wounded, mustard gas and head trauma. Pulmonary emphysema. Hemoptysis. Coughing fits with blood. Suffers from absences and amnesia. Dick Dudley Dunbar, owner of the Black Swan Hotel in Doncaster. Asthmatic, heart disease, heart condition. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Well, we know who the planned 4th victim is based on this game, which is not the same always.
The burned documents are medical records, and without a doubt they come from Clark's archives. First of all, because all the patients have throat conditions. And secondly, their name starts with either A, B, C, or D, and it is precisely the files that match these letters that have been tampered with.
But why burn these files? How come the names of the two victims appear on them? And who are the two other patients?
These are very good questions.
Hello, Poirot?
Any news, Chief Inspector?
You wanted a stocking seller? We have one. Reported by his landlady, who thought he was behaving suspiciously. He has the most unbelievable name.
Alexander Bonaparte Cust.
Yes, Alexander Bonaparte Cust. How did you guess? Poirot, you have magical powers. It's a serious lead. I called Doncaster. A person matching Cust's description has been seen at the station. He got off the train from London, but after that, nobody knows where he went.
Look for him at the Black Swan Hotel.
What? How do you know he's there?
Trust me, Chief Inspector.
You appear to be very sure of yourself. Very well. I'll call the Black Swan straight away. The owner is going to get a shock when he learns that there's a murderer under his roof.
Chief Inspector, I would rather call myself.
As you wish. Please go ahead.
Hello, the Black Swan. Hercule Poirot here. May I speak to the owner?
Speaking. Dick Dudley Dunbar. How can I help you?
Is there Mr. Cust among your guests?
He arrived today. Shall I call him for you?
No, it is you I wish to speak with.
But who is this Cust?
A crook.
A crook? He seems such a decent chap. Do you think that Cust might be dangerous? Oh, I do hope you're wrong. He seems so harmless, you know. Oh, yes, completely harmless.
We must not overestimate the danger. After all, we are not absolutely sure he is guilty.
What should I do?
Watch him. If he leaves the hotel, watch where he is heading. I'll call the police in Doncaster immediately. When they arrive, keep out of the way.
Oh, indeed. I shall keep out of the way. I have a bad heart, you see, and a big shot could kill me. Thank you for having warned me.
Hello, Poirot. We have some good news. The police in Doncaster have caught our man at the Black Swan Hotel. They're sending him here by train. While we're waiting to question Cust, we could search his room in London.
Where does he live?
The Marbury Guest House.
I'll see you there.
Yes, but start without me. First of all, I have to sort out a few details for Cust's transfer.
I understand. À bientôt. Hastings, we are making good progress. Please go and search the room of our number one suspect.
With pleasure. I did have a dentist appointment, but I'll cancel.
The dentist. So that is why you were so nervous and bad-tempered.
A visit to the dentist is never an enjoyable prospect.
But an unavoidable one. Go to your appointment, Hastings. I will manage on my own.
Alright. Wasn't expecting that, though I do recall Hastings having been difficult about dentists in the past, though I have a sneaking
To
suspicion
Marbury Guest House, please.
he ends up at one point dating a dentist receptionist. He gets married several times in the books, I seem to recall. Alright, let's look at the windows.
I've been going past this modest guest house for so long. I would never have thought that the ABC case would lead me here.
There's a kitty. There's a boarded up window. That'll be Marbury's room, maybe? Oh, who knows? Hello, little person. You want feeding, do you? Have a little person under the table
How do
demanding
you do?
feeding.
You must be Mr. Hercule Poirot. Chief Inspector Jabb told me that you might be coming.
Madame, you may be of valuable help to me.
It would be my pleasure to help you. Will there be some journalists there as well?
I think you might even be interviewed. You are key witness.
I've suspected him for some time, but he appeared so harmless. Oh yes, sometimes he got angry and waved his arms about. But even then, he wasn't frightening. And he was as gentle as a lamb again immediately afterwards. It was only this morning that I understood. He told me he was going to Cheltenham, but my daughter saw him at Euston Station. It's not the right station. To get to Cheltenham, you have to take the train from Paddington. And what's more, Mr. Cuss left behind an ABC with Doncaster underlined. As you can imagine, when I saw that, I called Scotland Yard.
Well done. You were right. He did go to Doncaster.
So I was right to warn the police.
Tell me, did you have any other reason to suspect Mr. Cust?
Well, he's odd. Sometimes he coughs really loudly and complains that his throat is burning, and sometimes he talks to himself and stares into space. He told me that it was because of a wound he got in the war. His head hasn't been quite right since, he said. And then he was in Churston when that millionaire got murdered. I found his train ticket when I washed his coat. He didn't want me to wash his shirt. He washed it himself. But I did see big brown stains on it.
Do you think it was blood?
Well, when I saw them, I thought, look, he spilled his wine or his soup all over himself. But now that I think about it, well, they did look like blood.
Got used
Very
to travel for his
creepy
work.
animation
Is
on
that
this.
correct?
Oh, it wasn't for pleasure. He was always unwound trains. But he had to sell his stockings around England. I have to respect my engagements, he used to say.
Do you know where Cust was at the time of the murder in Andover and Bexhill? On June the 21st and July the 25th?
No, I don't know. That was a while ago, you know.
But surely you keep a register.
It won't do you much good. Mr. Cuss rents his room for the year. If he goes away for a few days, I have no reason to make a note of it. Ah, I remember one thing. Bexhill is by the sea, right?
Indeed, it is a large seaside resort.
Well, as it happens, at the start of July, Mr. Cust asked me to repair his bathing dress. Suspicious, huh?
Very interesting. Please continue.
I also forgot to say that he started buying newspapers that talked about the case.
When did he start buying the newspapers?
Let's see. I think it was just after the millionaire's murder in Churston. He didn't seem all that interested before that.
That will be all for now. I'm going to take a look at his room.
Take the key on the counter.
Because it would be too hard to hand it to me. So we'll take the key.
I should check the register. Mrs. Marbury may have been hiding something from me.
I don't think my register will help you. Mr. Cuss rents his room all year. If he goes away for a few days, I have no reason to make a note of it.
The truth is becoming apparent, and I have something to say to Mrs. Marbury. This woman appears to be in a good mood. Mrs. Marbury is in a good mood. She's working very precisely in producing incredibly thin peel. Mrs. Marbury, if I am to believe the register, you rented room 306 to a certain Mr. Fishman on the day of the Bexley murder. Room 306 is Cust's room. Can you explain yourself?
Yes, I remember. Just for one night as a favour. Mr. Cust was away, all my other rooms were taken, and poor Mr. Fishman had nowhere to go.
It doesn't matter, provided that you remembered to change the sheets.
Oh, do you think so?
It looks like I've found the real master of this house.
I saw the cat on the windowsill. I don't think he likes
There
cats.
is no need to worry about the household cat. I'm sure that Mrs. Marbury lets it do what it pleases.
I'm sure it does. Can't go that way. So I can go up the stairs. Alright, up the stairs we go. A mirror. A mirror, a mirror, a mirror. Ego points. Alright, we have some medicine on the shelf. Chloroform. Ipecac. Okay, odd combination of stuff. Ipecac's generally used for
Diethyl barbituric acid, Johnson Company. I know this medicine. It is a powerful sedative. The
Ipecac
subject
is
will
generally
probably
used
be
to
useful to me.
generate vomiting. Laudanum.
Laudanum Cameron's Chemists.
Doesn't say Cameron's
Laudanum,
chemist.
a medicine for coughs. It is what Dr. Clark prescribed for Mrs. Asher.
It says Morley
The
Laboratory.
subject will probably be useful to me.
Alright. So we've got the sedative and the cough mixture. What's he got in his cupboard?
Trousers, white shirts. Everything has been washed very well. The Bexhill daily paper, dated from the day of the Bexhill murder. Most probably the bathing dress repaired by Mrs. Marbury's expert hands. All the main articles referring to the ABC case are here, from the Churston murder onwards. Nothing before that date. ABC guys, enough to sign about a dozen murders. ABC guys, enough to sign about a dozen murders. It's closed.
We're going to open it.
It's closed. It's closed. It's closed.
Yeah, I get that it's closed, but how do I open it?
ABC guys, enough to sign about a dozen murders.
Not what I wanted to do. What do I have in my pockets?
This key bears the number 306.
Alright, I need something else to open it, obviously. I need like a paper knife or something. Haha, it would be that.
A long-bladed knife. A murderer's weapon. This object would probably be useful to me.
It's a murderer's weapon. It will probably be useful to me.
It's an ABC. Cast is parsimonious. He keeps his pencils and sharpens them until there is nothing left. It is clear that he did not grow up in luxury. John Milligan, Managing Director, Silky Legs, Frederick Street, Leicester. To A.B. Cust, Marbury's Guest House, 1935, May the 21st. Dear Sir, further to our letters dated 5th and 10th of the month, we confirm we are you as door-to-door salesman, according to the conditions stated in our previous letters. We will send you the articles by mail and also a Redfield typewriter you will be using for every business letter. Regarding the schedule of your rounds, please do as following. June 21, Andover. Arrive by train the 20th in the evening and get a room at Station Hotel. Start your turn in the north part of the town. This letter establishes that Cust went to Andover, but the ink has hidden the destinations of his other trips. I know from Mrs. Marbury that he went to Churston. I just have to show that he went to Bexhill, and I will have proved that he was present at all the crime scenes. Did Cust drop it when he opened the window? Or was it Mrs. Marbury while she was cleaning?
I have a click-clacking happening behind me because one of the cats is playing with one of the doors. They have shut themselves into the room with me.
How am I going to do it? The left-hand heel has been removed. The right-hand heel has been removed. And here is the ribbon. Let us see if it was indeed used to write the letters sent by ABC. I only need the ink ribbon for my inquiry. I will let Jack clean the keyboard if he wishes.
Exit, exit, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, alright. So there's apparently other stuff I need. What else does it want me to do to the... suggesting I'm not finished with the puzzle because it's giving me an error when I leave it, but
And here is the ribbon.
I've
Let
got
us
the
see if
ribbon.
it was indeed used to write the letters sent by ABC. I only need the ink.
Got them all? All right. One, two, three, four, five. So it thinks that there's still something at the typewriter I haven't
have to
done.
get the ribbon. How am I going to do it?
I've done it. All right. So
The ribbon is jammed. I have to start by freeing.
yeah, all right. But I have the ribbon. I don't understand what's going on here.
The left-hand heel has been removed. The right-hand heel has been removed. And here is the ribbon. Let us see if it was indeed used to write the letters sent by ABC. I only need the ink ribbon for my inquiry.
Yep, we've got that.
All the letters announcing the murders were written on Cust's typewriter.
Okay, so we had to turn it the whole way around. All right. That's now complete. Now what? We have the bed.
How awful. This place is a real mess.
Bed isn't made. Pants are crinkled.
The least we can say that Mr. Cust is not very concerned about order and balance.
Let's see if we can get into that box now.
This knife is very useful. Who knows? Maybe it never cut anything other than string. Stockings.
But we already had the laudanum. I do not understand.
War of 1914-1918. By the King's order, the name of Corporal A.B. Cust, Devonshire Regiment, was published on the London Gazette on May 10th, 1918, as mentioned in a dispatch for gallant and distinguished service. An army dispatch, wounded on the Somme front, victim of a gas attack. Corporal Cust greatly deserves his distinction. The register shows that Cust did not sleep at the guest house on the day of the murder. Where was he? Bexhill. The Bexhill paper reveals it. Cust bought this newspaper in Bexhill on July the 25th. It is not the right time.
Okay, there's currently something I haven't searched in the room yet. I've searched the bed. Alright, I've searched the bed.
The least we can say that Mr. Cust is not very concerned about order and balance.
Alright. I've searched that. I've searched that. They're no longer available.
The least we can say that Mr. Cust is not very concerned about order and balance.
Six out of six there. I'm trying to search this room. I'm feeling like it's a little broken at the moment. I've searched that. I've searched that. I've searched that.
The least we can say that Mr. Cust is not very concerned about order and balance.
Keeps exiting out of that one automatically.
ABC guys, enough to sign about a dozen murders. Stockings.
Right out, little man. Out you go. Sorry, the cat behind me was fighting with the door. Can we get past this puzzle so that we can get out of the room? There was an autosave. Still wants me to search Cust's room.
Trousers, white shirts. Everything has been washed very well. The
The
Bexhill
newspapers?
daily paper, dated from the day of the Bexhill murder. Most probably the basting dress repaired by Mrs. Marbury's expert hands. All the main articles referring to the ABC case are here, from the Churston murder onwards. Nothing before that date.
I'm hoping that it hasn't crashed and I have to redo certain segments again, because that would be annoying. I already have the knife.
It's an ABC. Cust is parsimonious. He keeps his pencils and sharpens them until there is nothing left. It is clear that he did not grow up in luxury. Did Cust drop it when he opened the window? Or was it Mrs. Marbury while she was cleaning?
Letter.
John Milligan, Managing the... Dear Sir, further to our letters regarding the schedule of your... This letter is...
Alright. The knife we already have. I mean, realistically, we've done all of these.
The least we can say that Mr. Cust is
And
not
I
very
have done all
concerned
of
about order
those.
and balance. The least we can say that Mr. Cust is not very concerned about order and balance.
But it's not giving me the little pop-up for those. And it's not showing progressing to the next one. I think that I am going to... And the knife is floating there in thin air. I know I've used it already. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be still in my inventory. I'm going to stop the stream and stop the game, and I will try and pick it up from here because it's not going to let me leave the room.
It is not the right time.
No. All right. I will come back to this later. I have to go cook dinner anyway. But thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll pick this up sometime later in the week. I'm not at home tomorrow for the most part. And Thursday is raid night, so it might be Friday before I can have another go at this, but we will see how things go. Thank you very much.